the floor with all of you. Come on, John. I'll wipe the floor with all of you. Come on, John. Let's go.
The theatre, the WWE style build-up, you know, from John Fury is just, you know, it was an act today. It was a parody. He quietened down. You know, I'm glad. I didn't know there was perspex.
Won't be any more of it, that's for sure. And everybody wants to show some respect to each other. And let's see what the fight where it should happen.
Tensions exploded at the airport as John Fury and Eddie Hall became involved in a heated confrontation ahead of Tommy Fury's upcoming fight. The situation quickly turned chaotic when John Fury aggressively stepped toward Eddie Hall, confronting him face to face before appearing to shove him. During the fiery exchange, gas tempers flared and voices were raised. John Fury reportedly lost his composure and warned Eddie Hall that his son Tommy Fury would completely destroy him in the ring. The dramatic altercation instantly drew attention from people nearby, turning the airport into a scene of tension and chaos as the rivalry continued escalating before fight night.
There's a million security men. If you think you can take it, drink balls. Hey, I'll let you be fair.
John Fury did not hold back following the heated airport confrontation, unloading on Eddie Hall with aggressive confidence while backing his son Tommy Fury. John Fury insisted that Eddie Hall has no real understanding of the level he is stepping into and warned that he will quickly be overwhelmed once the fight begins. According to John, Tommy Fury will immediately apply relentless pressure, disrupt Eddie's rhythm, and expose the difference between raw strength and professional boxing skill. He believes that once genuine boxing intensity and experience are brought into the ring, Eddie Hall will struggle badly under the pressure and realize exactly what he has signed up for.
Tommy's going to do the chisel with it, as you've seen today. Eddie Hall, when Tommy's fought, you don't know what fight him. You don't know what he's in for. He thinks because Tommy's small, Tommy's like a pocket rocket, isn't he, compared to him? And I got that body belt and I'm feeling the power. He can't. That's why I want to do 2-minute rounds.
Eddie Hall described John Fury as extremely hot-headed, admitting that this type of aggressive personality can sometimes be both an advantage and a weakness in combat sports. Eddie pointed out that John Fury's temper has created problems in the past, proving just how emotional and intense things have become surrounding the fight at the same time. Hall suggested that uncontrolled aggression can easily backfire inside the boxing ring, particularly against someone like Tommy Fury, who prefers to stay calm, composed, and selective with his punches. In Eddie's view, losing control emotionally could become a major mistake once the pressure of the fight truly begins.
But yeah, he's very hot-headed, which I think is a good thing for him, but also a bad thing for him. You know, the guy's done time for being hot-headed.
Tommy Fury says strength alone means nothing in boxing, explaining that if being the world's strongest man made someone a fighter, then everyone would be a world champion. He says boxing is about timing, skill, IQ, and ring awareness, not just raw power. Ahead of his fight with Eddie Hall, Tommy is confident he will expose that difference on fight night and prove that real boxing experience always beats pure strength.
Being the strongest man in the world and picking up half a ton meant you was the best fighter of all. Everyone would be a world champion, wouldn't they? If being big and strong meant you could fight, everyone would be a world champion. But in this game, it's not about how much weight you can lift. It's not about how strong you are. There's a ton more things to the fight game. And that's why
John Fury doesn't hold back as he insists Eddie Hall has no idea what he's stepping into, claiming Eddie is underestimating Tommy Fury because of his size. John describes Tommy as a pocket rocket and says the speed and power difference will completely shock Eddie once they enter the ring. He also questions the idea of shorter rounds, suggesting Eddie may be trying to avoid the true demands and intensity of professional boxing.
Because Tommy's small, Tommy's like a pocket rocket, isn't he, compared to him? And I got that body belt and I'm feeling the power. He can't take that. That's why I want to do 2-minute rounds, isn't it? He can't do the 3. I can't blame him. You've got to give Eddie all props because he's not a fighter. He's going to get in with Tommy knowing full well what can happen to him.
Wade Clemens breaks down what he believes is Eddie Hall's biggest weakness, saying Eddie may be relying far too much on a single right hand without truly understanding how to set it up correctly. According to Clemens, Eddie still lacks a full understanding of distance, timing, and rhythm, which are essential skills at every level of boxing that he explains that instead of constantly throwing the right hand with pure force, Eddie should treat it like a dangerous weapon that needs precise timing and proper setup. Otherwise, Clemens warns, Eddie could quickly gas out, become predictable, and get picked apart by a more technical and experienced boxer like Tommy Fury.
A miracle right hand, what I'm seeing makes me even more skeptical that that's possible, because he doesn't understand space and distance, he doesn't understand timing and rhythm, he doesn't understand how valuable his right hand is, and it seems like I'm being counterintuitive because all he's throwing is right hands, but he needs to value that thing. It needs to be, like I said, a weapon of mass destruction. You only bring it out at certain points so Tommy doesn't get a read on it. And also,
Johnny Nelson explains that John Fury is a highly emotional character who often gets swept up in the intensity of a moment and can lose control when tensions rise. Nelson points out that there are times when John reacts first and thinks later, which can quickly escalate situations. According to Nelson, moments like these eventually force John Fury to face the consequences of his own actions. He believes the pressure is now on John to remain calm and composed moving forward, because any further emotional outbursts could create even more chaos around an already heated build-up to the fight.
Today, the real beef is between Eddie and my dad. You know, that's genuinely what has happened here. I'm only doing this fight because of my dad. So the real beef is between Eddie and my dad, and I'm obviously just stepping up to the plate. Tyson's on a different stratosphere. Basically, Eddie was having a pop between all the Furies. You know, he wanted to fight with...
Tommy Fury makes it clear that the real tension in this situation is between Eddie Hall and John Fury, not him personally. Tommy says he only became involved in the fight because of the ongoing issues surrounding his father, claiming Eddie has been targeting the Fury name from the very beginning. According to Tommy, Eddie wanted a fight connected to the Fury family, and now he has exactly that. He believes the situation has become deeply personal, creating an emotional and intense build-up heading into the fight.
Behave himself. He's distracted. A lot of attention and talk, and I'm quite sure someone will have a word with him at the authority.
Eddie Hearn says the clash between John Fury and Eddie Hall crossed the line, describing the situation as too personal and unnecessary. However, he also admits that moments like this naturally generate huge attention and will likely bring even more interest to the fight. According to Hearn, boxing has always been filled with controversial moments that divide opinion, but incidents like these still end up increasing hype and putting more eyes on the event, whether fans agree with the behavior or not.
It's boxing, it's family. John's John. Both goading each other. Both very personal. Both means a lot to everybody. Shouldn't have done it.
Simon Jordan described John Fury's behavior as thuggish, vulgar, and completely unedifying, arguing that this kind of conduct damages the public image of boxing. Jordan said people should not act surprised by the incident because John Fury has long been associated with controversy and aggressive behavior, making calm reactions in heated situations seem unlikely. According to Jordan, many fans try to overly sanitize boxing by expecting politeness and restraint in a sport built around violence and confrontation. In his view, the airport clash simply reflected the raw and chaotic reality of the fight game rather than something genuinely shocking or unexpected.
It is thuggish behaviour. John Fury's, is boorish, thuggish, unedifying, unpalatable, uncouth, vulgar behaviour. Absolutely. But what do you expect from John Fury? John Fury's been in prison for gouging someone's eyes out. What did you expect him to do? Convert into a Samaritan? Is it a nice look? No. Was it a nice look over the years in boxing about so many things? This ridiculous sentimentalising of society and expecting everyone to behave in their best version.
Eddie Hall expressed clear frustration over the constant confrontation and drama surrounding him, saying he has become completely fed up with all the talking and aggressive behavior outside the ring. According to Eddie, too many people are quick to act tough by shouting, headbutting, and creating chaos in public, yet fail to truly prove themselves when it actually matters. Hall challenged his critics to stop talking and back up their words with actions, insisting that real statements are made inside the ring, not through constant drama and intimidation. In his view, the situation has now moved beyond normal fight promotion and become something far more personal and disrespectful.
I was trying to get in nowhere with these guys. I'm like, look, you talk the talk, you fucking walk around headbutting and smacking people and punching windows and whatever else. I said, well, why don't you guys fucking put your money where your mouth is for once and fucking do...
Wade Clemens delivered a brutal assessment of Eddie Hall's preparation, describing his latest sparring footage as abysmal and questioning what he has actually been working on during training. Clemens suggested that although Eddie is clearly putting time into the gym, the footage showed signs of confusion, poor structure, and a lack of clear direction in his overall development. He also criticized the coaching approach surrounding Hall, implying that there appears to be little visible improvement in the technical side of his boxing. According to Clemens, without proper progression and discipline development, Eddie could struggle badly once he faces real fight pressure and experienced opposition inside the ring.
Sparring footage that I just saw is abysmal. I don't know what Eddie's been training. I don't know who has been training him. I know that he has been training, but my goodness, I don't know who with, what they're supposed to be working on or why. But let me just show you what I mean. Eddie Hall, training footage and sparring footage just dropped. And
Frank Warren explained that this fight has captured massive attention for several different reasons, particularly because of the enormous financial rewards involved and the career opportunities attached to it. He acknowledged that boxing is always a dangerous sport, but emphasized that a promoter's responsibility is to create fights that are both competitive and commercially successful. According to Warren, this matchup achieves exactly that by offering a major platform, significant exposure, and a life-changing payday, while still giving the fighter a realistic opportunity to progress in their career. In his view, the event checks every important box from both a business and sporting perspective, which is why it has generated so much interest heading into fight night.
Got his attention for various reasons, and they're getting. I mean, Tommy's getting life-changing money, and you know, how can you? I can't knock that. You know, you're in the ring. It's a dangerous place to be, and you know, my job is if I see a fight that I feel he can win and I'll put him into it, then I'll do that, and it gets him, you know, gets him further up the ladder. Not only do I think he can win it, I think, you know, obviously he you know, this is a high-profile fight, but he's getting a truckload of money for it. So, you know, it ticks all the...
Dave Allen reacted with surprise to the matchup, pointing out how unusual it is to see Eddie Hall, known as one of the world's strongest men, stepping into the boxing ring against Tommy Fury. Allen even suggested that the two could probably be friendly outside of the sport, while also hinting that both men are likely making a huge amount of money from the event. His reaction carried a mix of disbelief and entertainment, viewing the fight more as a major crossover spectacle designed to attract attention rather than a traditional boxing contest between elite-level professional fighters.
World's strongest man, amazing. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. He's fighting Tommy Fury. I thought they were mates. They probably are mates. Probably for fucking fortunes.
Dave Allen admitted that despite his criticism of the matchup, he will still be watching the fight because he has respect for both Tommy Fury and Eddie Hall in different ways. Allen described the event as part of boxing's growing circus, where crossover fights and exhibition-style matchups are becoming increasingly common in the sport. Although he called the fight nonsense from a traditional boxing perspective, Allen also acknowledged that it remains entertaining and intriguing for fans. In his view, that mix of controversy, spectacle, and curiosity is exactly why people continue tuning in, regardless of whether purists fully approve of these kinds of events.
Watch it. I like Tommy Fury a lot. I'm a Tommy Fury fan. Eddie Hall. I'm an Eddie Hall fan. I like the world's strongest man. A lot of respect for him. So of course I'll watch it. I'll watch it as it's a spectacle in it. It's part of the new bit of circusry that's come into boxing. All these exhibitions, different people from different sports coming in. But for all intents and purposes, as a boxing match, what a load of bollocks. Yeah, I don't think it's. I don't like it too much. But I'll watch it because it's like it's interesting in lots of ways, and I think people find it interesting.
Vidal Riley reflected on his experience sparring with Eddie Hall, acknowledging Eddie's enormous size, strength, and impressive athleticism. Despite that physical presence, Riley still believes Tommy Fury should have the advantage because of his greater boxing experience and understanding of the sport at the same time. Riley admitted that there's always an unpredictable element when facing someone as naturally powerful as Eddie Hall, since one clean shot from such a strong athlete can quickly change a fight. Overall, he viewed the matchup as smart matchmaking, describing it as an exciting contest that makes sense from both a promotional and entertainment standpoint.
Eddie, when I sparred Eddie, he was 140 kg. I don't know how much he's gonna have to be for Tommy. But Tommy should win, innit? Like, should win. But Eddie Hall, who knows? It makes sense for Tommy, innit? It's a good fight.
Simon Jordan describes the matchup between Tommy Fury and Eddie Hall as a fun spectacle that should be viewed primarily as entertainment rather than a serious elite-level boxing contest. While he respects the danger involved and admits he personally would not want to step into the ring with someone as physically imposing as Eddie Hall, he still sees the event as more of a crossover attraction than a traditional professional fight. Jordan also acknowledges the polarizing nature of the matchup, suggesting that the unpredictability and chaos surrounding it are exactly what make people interested. In his view, fights like this blur the line between sport and entertainment, which is why they continue generating huge attention and debate among fans.
Fun event, and you take it for what it is. I mean, I wouldn't want to be in it. I wouldn't be across the ring from this fella. But notwithstanding, I'm quite happy for Tommy Fury to get a punch.
Wade Plemon believes Tommy Fury should have a clear route to controlling the fight if he can survive the dangerous early stages and force Eddie Hall to calm down after the opening rounds. He argues that despite Eddie's incredible size and athleticism, he is still not a polished boxer and relies heavily on wild power punches rather than refined technique. Plemon highlights Eddie's lack of core boxing fundamentals such as timing, defense, footwork, and ring awareness, suggesting those weaknesses could become obvious once the fight settles into a rhythm. Referring to past matchups involving powerful but inexperienced fighters, he notes that technically sharper opponents have often been able to outbox and neutralize raw strength with discipline and movement. While he also admits Tommy Fury is not viewed as an elite-level boxer himself, Plemon insists Tommy should still possess enough technical ability to avoid major danger, manage the distance, and secure a comfortable victory if he wants to prove the matchup makes sporting sense.
Seriously, now, I expect Tommy to pretty much do what he wants with him if he can get, Eddie to relax a little bit after the first, second, and maybe third round. Because as big as Eddie is and as athletic as he is, he can't box very well. He's not a great boxer. He swings for the bleachers. He's got great power, obviously, and he's a good athlete. Like, he's a really good quick-twitch athlete. But even in the Hafthor Bjornsson fight, I can't even believe we're referencing this in terms of a Tommy Fury fight, but even in that fight, I know Eddie had like one arm because he had a shoulder messed up, but Thor outboxed him and stuck a left hand on him. He was the southpaw. It was tricky, but listen, and Tommy is not like a high-level operator, but he...
Tom Aspinall describes the matchup as genuinely interesting, pointing out that both Tommy Fury and Eddie Hall bring completely different strengths into the ring. He explains that Tommy Fury's lifelong boxing background naturally gives him a major advantage in technique, structure, timing, and overall ring experience at the same time. Aspinall warns people not to underestimate Eddie Hall, insisting that Eddie can genuinely fight and possesses real knockout power capable of changing a contest instantly. In his view, the fight is not entirely one-sided because although Tommy may be able to outbox Eddie over time and distance, Eddie only needs one clean shot to completely alter the outcome. Aspinall sees the matchup as a classic battle between technical skill and raw physical power, where experience and boxing fundamentals collide with strength, aggression, and unpredictability.
Tommy is obviously a boxer. Eddie can fight as well, though, to be fair. So, yeah.
You've trained with both of them, though.
I've trained with both of them.
What's the skills? What's the breakdown for this?
Tommy's been boxing all his life, so you would think that the edge should go to Tommy, but Eddie can actually genuinely fight. So
Tommy Fury confidently says that while Eddie Hall may be incredibly strong and heavily muscled, that does not automatically translate into real boxing ability or durability. Tommy points out that muscles do not protect a fighter's chin, and he believes that is where the true difference between them will be exposed on fight night. He explains that boxing history is filled with physically powerful men who still struggled once they faced proper technique, timing, and ring intelligence. According to Tommy, his goal is simple: find Eddie's chin, apply pressure, and see how he reacts when forced to deal with genuine boxing intensity. In his mind, the fight is ultimately about exposing the gap between raw strength training and real boxing skill inside the ring.
You're right. I mean, Eddie's got muscles all over his body, but you can't put muscles on chins. So, and that's what I'm about to expose. Listen, we've seen good big men you know, in the ring all the time. But what's different, you know, the muscles can't get on the chin, and I'm looking to find that chin.
In the end, this matchup is becoming far more than just another crossover spectacle. It represents a clash between pure boxing skill and raw strength, power, and unpredictability. Tommy Fury believes his technique, timing, and ring experience will ultimately expose Eddie Hall, while Eddie still carries the dangerous threat of one explosive punch capable of changing everything instantly. The build-up has already been emotional, controversial, and packed with tension, turning the fight into one of the most talked about events in combat sports. Now, all attention shifts toward Fight Night, where every question and prediction will finally be answered inside the ring. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more boxing news, fight analysis, and major updates from the world of combat sports.